So I wanted to make a video, guys, and I could probably talk for an hour and um, discuss the last couple years. I was diagnosed with ALS November 27th of 2023. Um, at that time, the worst I got is I really could not, even walk more than maybe a mile before I was exhausted. If I tried to do a load of laundry, my hands, my arms would just be done for the entire day. Um, and no doubt, I mean, my hands, my upper body is what has been affected the most. But now, shoot, last week I probably did 4 loads of laundry. And I'm not sitting here saying it's easy. It's not easy by any means, but it's something that I can do. It's something that I couldn't do, 2 years ago, even a year and a half ago, even a year ago. But everything just slowly improved. So my hands and my upper body are definitely the worst. My breathing was very, very raspy, very, very hard to take deep breaths. I couldn't tell you, was my diaphragm weak? Was it just because my lungs were full of fluid or something? I can't tell you the details on that. But I can just tell you that now, I can go jog, and I can't jog 2 miles straight. I can definitely go jog 3/4 mile, walk 1/4 mile, jog 3/4, walk 1/4, and feel great. Not near the fatigue I used to have. Also, my speech is much better. I mean, my voice is stronger. My voice is, I still have days where maybe it's hard to pronounce words, but overall, it's much easier. My voice is much stronger, and really just a lot of the general fatigue. Again, the days would be where if I did much of anything, it was just I was just done the rest of the day. I mean, there were times where I'd sleep probably, 15 hours for a day, because my body was just so exhausted, and I have tons of energy now. There's no doubt. I take some things to help with the energy, but the improvement for energy has been phenomenal. I could talk all day. What are the 3 things that I feel like have helped me the most? Without a doubt, there's something called SOT. This was, I think, at one point called AST or something, antisense therapy. SOT is supportive oligonucleotide therapy. It's basically a type of DNA that short chain DNA that they administer through IV that targets the particular strains of bacteria that you're targeting, and it prevents them from replicating. This is, the first time I got an SOT, I as they administered it, I noticed the twitching reduced by 50%. I did 3 SOTs the first round. Babesia was an infection that I was dealing with, and I think it was about 5 months later, I retested and Babesia was put into remission. So Babesia is usually what is causing issues with breathing, lung issues, night sweats, I think are part of Babesia. And all of that, all of those symptoms are gone. Or I would say a good 90% better. So SOT is one of my favorite therapies. I usually get one a year right now, but if I could afford it, nothing is covered by insurance. But if I could afford it, I'd be getting it every 4 to 6 months. Another great, actually, here it is. Another great therapy has been this. This is a bag of pure oxygen. It is filled up with this oxygen. I guess it's not a generator. I guess it would be an oxygen concentrator. And it basically takes the air around me and takes out all the pure oxygen and puts it in this bag. And so then I exercise on my exercise bike and breathe it in. When I first started doing this, I could do it for 18 minutes and there would still be oxygen in the bag. Now I'm at 12 minutes, I'm pretty much out of oxygen. And that's just, my lungs have been able to, take in more oxygen, and the improvement is awesome. My hands after a treatment, they feel wonderful. They're not as constricted. The improvement does not last. I mean, I'll notice improvement right away, and there's no doubt towards the end of the day that improvement starts to go away. I try to do it every day. I don't get it done every day, but I try to. The third main thing I would say has helped is actually what the last video was kind of going over. I was shocked when I showed up to Brad office, therapy room or whatever, and he started working on me and started massaging, my gut, massaging places on my shoulder, my arms, and all of these little cysts that I had no clue were there. And when he first started working on me, the pain was insane. The worst pain I've probably ever felt. Maybe when I tore my patella tendon, that was a pretty intense pain, but this was pain that when he would get, like we're talking about, if I'm on my my forearm here, and he'd find one and he would just press on that thing, the pain would radiate down into my hand, up into my shoulder, and I just felt like it was a way of, if you think of like a sore on your skin that's infected, well, probably one of the best things you can do is open that up, get all that pus out of it. Well, I think of that internally, it's kind of what we were doing. It was something that I feel like helped my inflammation. I mean, I was inflamed like crazy a year and a half ago. Even when that video was made, I was inflamed. And, I would learn to come in. He would actually teach me. I would come home and I would roll around on a softball or a lacrosse ball, foam rollers. I got a massage gun that I use just about daily while I'm sitting there in the evenings while I'm watching a little bit of TV. So that all helped me, in my opinion, especially early on, in reducing the amount of inflammation in my body, which we all know that, motor neuron disease, if you don't know, is an inflammation disease. It's inflammation going throughout the body. And that's the first thing I would tell you. You want to reduce inflammation in any way you can. Do I take supplements? Yes. Can I sit here and tell you exactly what supplements do what and how they help? No. I have thrown the kitchen sink at this thing. But I will tell you the 3 supplements I don't go without is 1, magnesium. There are different forms of magnesium. I'm usually trying to do magnesium glycinate. But magnesium, I'm usually trying to get like a gram a day. Another supplement that, I will not go out without is liposomal glutathione. Glutathione is probably the number 1 detox chemical, element that your body uses to protect your cells, protect your liver, protect you from inflammation. So I take liposomal glutathione daily. And then from there, it's really about protecting my liver. Anything that's going to help your liver. Liver support usually has alpha lipoic acid in it. It usually has a milk thistle. It usually has maybe some dandelion root. But you can just find any liver support, see what the ingredients are, and then I buy those individually. I don't usually buy just a liver support pill. I don't personally feel like there's enough. I mean, maybe you could take 4 or 5 of them for a day or something, but I like to do those things individually. But those are really my number 1 supplements right there. Liver is so important in any motor neuron disease. If you're not supporting your liver, you're gonna struggle. One of the best ways you can support your liver or support anything when it comes to your body is your diet. There is nothing else that I have done that has helped, in my opinion, than my diet. That is no added sugar. Yes, I'll eat fruit here and there, but I do try to keep all carbs at 30 grams a day. So, if I eat a banana, well, that's pretty much all the carbs I can have for the day. I try to keep carbs at 30 grams or less, and I can eat as much protein as I want. I would love to be able to eat 200 grams of protein a day. That doesn't usually happen, but that's my target. And then I eat vegetables. I try to keep the nutrients for vegetables every day. But that, when it comes down to it, sugar, alcohol, all that stuff, cut it out. It is not helping your body. It's not helping your liver. It's not doing anything but slowly poisoning the cells that are actually working. So that is the number 1 thing I do, and it's cheap. It's the cheapest therapy I have. Like, I don't have to worry about money when I'm just or the amount of money that you can spend treating Lyme disease or treating ALS, which there is no treatment for ALS. So I'm treating Lyme disease, but diet. I do a lot of fasting. I would never tell someone who first started to treat to do a lot of fasting, but now 2 years later, fasting is cheap, man. I mean, I lose weight and I save money by fasting. A lot of times I only eat once a day. During that meal, I will just about gorge on meat, gorge on vegetables, keep, white rice or that little bit of carb at 30 grams. From there, guys, I could talk and talk all day. I am not trying to answer every single question in this one video. I mean, look, I can do anything. I do one-legged squats all the time. My bench press has gone up probably about 20 pounds in the last 6 months. That's not a huge number, except it is when your max was around 60 pounds and you get it up to 80 or 80 to 100. I really only started working out, like real hardcore working out, about 6 months ago. I was always too, well, I wouldn't say scared, but I didn't want to overdo it. Now I'm probably on the other side of the spectrum where I overdo it constantly. I mean, I did a leg workout on Friday, a bench press workout yesterday that, I mean, were intense. And I feel it. So like yesterday when I did my bench workout, of course it's gonna affect your shoulders, it's gonna affect your chest. Well, by the end of the day, we went out and ate yesterday or last night, and I mean, it was a struggle sometimes to get that fork up to my mouth. Now, I don't have that problem on a normal day, but if I go and I do an intense workout like that, my muscles are going to be very fatigued by the end of the day. But it is nothing like it was 2 years ago. I'm probably a little overly positive. I'm telling my wife a lot of times about, oh my gosh, I'm so much better. Everything's improved so much. And it has. But just understand that, like, you know, if something goes from a 2 to a 4, well, that's a huge increase. That's big. But you're still at a 4. So it's there's a little bit of a perspective there. Other than that, you know, I am open to questions. I have people, you know, sending me private messages all the time. My 3 worst body parts are definitely my hands, my left shoulder. This guy is like skin and bones, and actually my right wrist. This thing does not want to come back all the way. I don't know if you can see the difference there, but it just is not near as strong as this one. But again, I have definitely found improvement in every body part. The least affected body parts, like my legs, have definitely gained strength more or faster than my worst body parts. I just have some notes here that I was going to try to cover. That's probably about it for this video. Look, you know, all I can say right now to anybody trying to do this, reduce your inflammation, be patient, and keep treating the infections, and try to, it's easy to say, but try to not stop moving. I try to sweat every day. I try to move as much as possible every day. Where I could barely walk a mile, now I'm able to run 2 miles or jog 2 miles. I'm able to do things that I haven't done or that I wasn't able to do for a couple years. And obviously it's amazing. I pray that anybody can find success. I will tell you, I have a great doctor, but even my doctor is not doing anything for me that I won't do for myself. My doctor is not making me eat right. My doctor is advising that I eat right. My doctor is not making me get on this exercise machine. I'm having to push myself to do it. My doctor is not, pushing pills down my throat. And I don't, the whole antibiotics thing, I'm down. I mean, I cut antibiotics down. I'm down to 2 of them that I take right now. They help, but they're not a magic cure. And I am neither for or against antibiotics. There are things that I know are negative about antibiotics, but sometimes they're necessary. And that's really my biggest goal. I want to be off of them by the spring of 2026, and we'll see what happens when I do that. But there are herbs, great herbs, and maybe I'll do a video again for the different herbs that I take. The first one I took was Lomation dissectum, and it helped my voice right away. Anyways, I don't talk perfect, but I can talk much faster than I used to be able to talk. My voice is much deeper than it used to be. These are just improvements that I'm blessed to be able to experience every few months. And it's amazing because I have the best day of my life every few months. I notice something better every few months. And yeah, I pray that others can find these improvements, these reliefs, these blessings. And anybody has questions, please private message me. You know, I stay in the comments a lot on as much as I can. But God bless. Praying for everybody out there that's dealing with any kind of chronic issue. If you're dealing with a chronic issue, I suggest you find out about Lyme disease.